Hello and welcome to Evolve by Erica, the podcast. This is Erica Polsinelli, your host, and we are here to talk about all things spirituality, 5D, ascension, health, wellness, and beyond. Welcome and come on in. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode. I'm so excited today to talk about an energy update. I love giving these energy updates because it's really fun to be so in tuned with yourself, with the cosmos, with the energy on Earth. And I feel very grateful to be able to share what's been coming through for me. And also just a little bit of the astrology of what's going on right now and what we are coming into actually the day after this airs. So let's get right into it. We are currently, as I record this, we're in Virgo season, and personally, one of my favorite seasons. It brings this very grounded energy, and for an earth sign like myself, I need all the grounding I could take because very often I'm actually not here. I'm floating around in the ethers. So Virgo energy just brings us this very grounded, centered energy, helping us to get in our bodies, allowing us to create a little bit more structure and organization with our life and our days, being able to think about where we want to go and allowing us to find that pathway there. And what I've noticed that has been coming up a lot this season is habits, routines, ways of life, thought patterns that we've had in place under analysis, bringing them to the surface so that we could identify what is going to be the vehicle to get us to where we need to be, where we want to be, and what maybe is in place right now that's holding us back from getting there. So that's been bubbling to the surface a lot, for me at least. And it's a beautiful thing to have awareness. It's a beautiful thing to become that observer of yourself, your habits, and your life, because that's truly how we shift. So from Virgo season, we're going to be shifting into Libra season, which takes place on the 23rd, as well as the 22nd, as well as the Fall Equinox. So before we go there, I want to talk about some other energy of September before we transition and talk about Libra season. So I've been getting a lot of intuitive guidance, hits, downloads, whatever you want to call them, about how we are releasing a lot of density from our body. So we live in this 3D realm, but we are multi-dimensional beings. So I think I've done a podcast on this. If not, maybe it's time to. I think with Marcy Barron, I believe we talked about this, but that's a great episode you should listen back to if you haven't. But we are living in this 3D realm and we're multidimensional beings. We have access to higher dimensions. So when you are in divine alignment, when you are able to look through a lens of love, no matter what energy is coming at you, you're able to see past it with compassion, love. You're entering that 4D, 5D realm, the place where love overrides fear. And right now, since we do live in this 3D realm, we have these physical bodies. It can be very dense. It can be heavy. And the universe right now, as we're entering the Aquarian age and as we're entering this Aquarius energy, we're shifting, there we are releasing a lot of the density from our body through our breath work, through movement, through the things we're guided to consume, by the structures or habits we're guided to bring in. And we are turning on more of our light. We're crystallizing. We're having a full body, mind, spirit upgrade. And I feel this happening. I know this to be true. So it's always interesting when I start to feel something and then I'm like, oh, what is this feeling? I ask around to other people to see if they're experiencing it, or I look at other accounts and see what else is going on in the spiritual realm, what other healers are experiencing. And referencing back to Marcy Barron, she was posting about the Schumann resonance being actually, it's been a blackout for a certain number of days at this point. So for those of you that don't know, the Schumann resonance is a form of technology of how we analyze or measure the energy on Earth. And the energy has been literally off the charts that it cannot be read right now by this technology, where every day you could look at the Schumann resonance, see what the energy is like on Earth right now. It's been a blackout for, I believe, 16 days, but we could be even more into that, especially by the time you listen, if it's still a blackout. There is so much light energy coming onto the earth, and we are receiving these energetic upgrades. And I put out a post today about what this could feel like and what this could look like. So you may be experiencing off the chart synchronicities or telepathy. So, I want you to embody that you are capable of that. You're capable of being an intuitive. You're capable of getting psychic downloads. You're capable of telepathic communication. This is real, and you have probably already experienced it. So I know when I'm thinking about someone, there's going to be that physical interaction at some point. If someone comes into my awareness, it's for a reason, and it's almost guaranteed that they reach out to me, we bump into each other, something happens because our energy is connected and aligned for whatever reason. If you're thinking about someone and they happen to call you, if you're thinking about someone, you happen to bump into them, like I said, if you see a sign of some sort, none of this is a coincidence, and we have to start stepping out of shrugging off these supernatural experiences we're having and start to recognize us for the healers that we are and for the powers that we truly hold. This is a very, very clear message coming through. So whoever's listening, this message is meant to be received. And if it resonates with you, then you were supposed to receive this. But it's a time to harness our intuitive abilities. It's a time to allow ourselves to claim that energy of being a healer, being an intuitive, and receiving multidimensional energy and information. It is a very, very powerful time right now. So that's the energy that I've been receiving. And then I go out, branch out, and I'm like, how could I find evidence of this in other ways? And then that led me to the Schumann resonance being a blackout. I'm just now reflecting back on an astrology reading that I tuned into recently, talking about the shift into the energy of Aquarius for the next however long. And that energy of Aquarius is building the future of the new earth, building what we wish to create. And sometimes there has to be a little bit of destruction before we could get there. So right now, if you're not experiencing an easy ride, if things have been really coming up to the surface for you, sometimes it has to get intense before it gets a lot better. So just allow yourself to find the flow, allow it to move through you, and know that this is all part of the divine plan, and it's for the greatest good. That's what I'm hearing very clearly in my mind right now. It is for the greatest good. So just allow yourself to move through this. With that, you may have been experiencing some physical sensations. You might be feeling like you're here, but not really here. And that's because, like I said, we're multidimensional beings. Sometimes we are more in a cosmic state, or we're in the astral realm, we're in the fifth dimension, and we're actually not present here. So taking time to ground in nature, I've been having to do this so much, taking time off of the phone and because the phone is a portal to a different dimension as well. And I'm very sensitive to it. A lot of the time I'll be looking at my phone and I'll come off of it and be like, oh my God, wait, I'm here. It's a whole different frequency. It's a whole different realm, and we need to find balance there. Ringing in the ears, pressure at our third eye point or our crown, a need to release old habits and form new ones. All of these things can be signs of the energetic body upgrading to more of this crystalline energy. And if you're practicing Kundalini, the energy on the planet and as well as the practice is assisting you in turning on dormant DNA, turning on channels that may have never been turned on before. And when we do this, of course, we're going to have abilities that we never had before because we're practicing something maybe we've never practiced before, or we're living through a time that we've never experienced before. So allow yourself to create space, allow yourself to understand that you're growing as a spiritual being, and allow yourself to understand that you are going to have abilities you once never had. People do not need to be born with psychic intuitive abilities. You can expand and grow into them, and it's real. So I wanted to share that with you. I actually recorded a whole other podcast on this topic, and I knew I had to re-record it because these messages are coming through so clearly. So if they resonate with you, I would love for you to share with me through DM or commenting on this post, the trailer of this, or the highlights of this podcast, because I love to hear your experiences. So now moving on into Libra season and the fall equinox. So Libra is an air sign. We're moving into the energy of Vata. So if you know Ayurveda and the doshas, Vata is air, and that's the energy of the season that we're moving into. And it's important to be grounded. It's important to eat grounding foods. It's important to do exercises, movements, habits, behaviors, routines that help to ground you during this time. So this is like the season of like soups and chilies and all of those warm, nourishing bowls, so that we can ground that Vata and that air energy and really feel that connection to the earth, being grounded and rooted into the earth. So Libra season is all about justice, balance, fairness, peace. Libra is a sign of the balancing scale. So it brings in beautiful energy. And my sun sign is a Libra. I'm born on October 19th. And it's very interesting because this is my personal experience, and maybe you can relate to it. Leo season. Leo's my rising sign, and I feel fierce and I want to get out there. I want to be social. I want to take action. And then Virgo season, I'm focused. I'm working hard. I feel good and uplifted. And then Libra season comes around and I always want to go within. So during Virgo season, I'm like, oh, for my birthday this year, let's do this. And it's like this big idea of like a social setting. And then as soon as my birthday rolls around, deep in Libra season, I'm like, okay, no, I want to be by myself. I want to go within. And I just want to retreat into my spiritual nature and just go within myself. So you may feel that as well during the season of Libra, but it's a beautiful time to find balance. And the fall equinox marks the beginning of Libra season, which also highlights the energy of balance as well. So it is the energy of balancing lightness and darkness. As we know, the days get shorter and we're moving into that darker season of, again, going within ourselves, retreating inward, hibernation, and bringing in the energy of harvest. So you have been planting seeds, I'm sure. If you practice with me and you practice our moon meditations, we're always planting seeds around the new moon, thinking about what we want to bring in, and the full moon about what we want to release. The fall equinox is this culmination of that energy. So really allowing the blessings of the harvest to be received. So this might be a time where some of your intentions from the past moon days come to fruition, where really big projects come to this peak, this climax, or to full completion. It's a time to allow in abundance over lack. Allow in that expansive energy rather than limiting energy. And a really beautiful time to find balance within yourself. If we think about it, I feel the summer season is a time where we're busy. We have different routines. We're out a lot. Maybe we're eating differently than what feels in alignment with our higher self. Maybe we're consuming more things like alcohol or other recreational things that, more caffeine to stay up and keep up. And it's light out for so long. We have these long, beautiful days. And then fall brings us balance and brings in this energy of, okay, let's try to bring in more balance within ourselves. Let's find more time for ourselves and balancing that to the amount of time we're spending with others. Let's find more balance on what we're consuming and how we could put more routines and patterns in place that can really nurture our souls, our physical body, our energetic body, and welcome in more of that balance throughout our daily life, our daily routines. So we have this beautiful energy of balance, and I invite you as we transition into this season to practice the meditations that have to do with welcoming in balance. You could literally search balance on Evolve and find a ton of meditations. We have balancing the mind and the heart. We have the balancing breath works of alternate nostril breathing. I think there are a few more on there as well. I also invite you to journal and take time to reflect on the seeds that have been planted over the last few months, maybe the last 6 months, maybe the last 12 months, and honor what has come into fruition and feel the abundance of receiving them. Feel such immense gratitude for all that has been brought into your life, all that you have co-created into your life. And then from there, take a moment to think about and welcome the awareness of what no longer serves you. Really getting clear on what those routines or habits are that serve you, and what habits are you going to bring in this new season. This is a fresh start. What habits are you going to bring in that serve your highest good, that help you to feel most aligned to your highest self, that allow you to step into that next highest version of yourself, your higher self, your higher goddess. Allow yourself the space to expand. And allow yourself to see the beauty in which every season brings, because it could be very, very sad for some to go into the season. Some are very excited to go and transition into the season, but every single season brings blessings. It brings a new energy. So if you're someone where it's hard for you to let go of the energy of summer and move into these colder months and the months where we really go within, I want you to explore the beauty of what it brings and try to find the excitement behind what it has to offer you. And the more we go within is the more we're able to have access to our spiritual side and then bring that out into the world. So this is really like we're entering that cocoon phase, going within ourselves, exploring more, getting really comfortable sitting with ourselves and within ourselves. Going within to clean out, to release out anything that we're ready to transcend and step into that space. So I'm wishing you a beautiful fall equinox and a beautiful start to Libra season. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love for you to visit the Instagram where I posted the little trailer and highlight reel of this, and leave anything you want to share there. I love having conversations about all the things. So happy ascension, happy fall, happy Libra season, and I can't wait to see you back next time. May the longtime sun shine upon you. Sat Nam.